Okay, welcome back to the Yuba County Board of Supervisors meeting on Tuesday, December 14th. We'll start off before we get into the public hearing with a report out from closed session from this morning. Council.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The board met in closed session, all members being present on items 614, 2021, 612, 2021, 638, 2021, 661, 2021, 611, 2021, and 670, 2021. On item 661, 2021, the board authorized the defense of the litigation and retention of outside counsel in the matter of Estrella Acosta versus County of Yuba. In agenda item 611, 2020, I'm sorry, that was by unanimous vote. On agenda item 611, 2021, the board authorized the addition of a defendant, McKinsey Corporation, to the existing litigation in Ray National prescription opioid litigation, the multi-district litigation in the Northern District of Ohio. Again, that was by a unanimous 5-0 vote. On the remaining closed session items, there was no reportable action taken. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you, Council. Next up is item 641, 2021 at 1:30 p.m. A public hearing. County Administrator hold public hearing to receive public input on district boundaries and draft maps, receive report from staff on redistricting process, and adopt resolution enacting boundaries of the supervisorial districts of the County of Yuba. So I will open up the public hearing. Say O'Malley.
Yes, good afternoon, Chair, members of the board. Kevin Mallon, Yuba County Administrator. So I'm going to share the screen here in a minute, but before I get to that, just to kind of recap where we're at in the process. We're at the final step before the board today, and it's been a multi-step process as we've gone over the last couple of months. With the most recent step being last week when we discussed with the board 3 options that we had circulated to the public, received comment on. And last week, the board gave indication of their preference of one of those 3 options, which at the time was called option 3. And so the item before you today is taking that option 3 and making that the preferred option, and what was attached to the resolution that's before the board today. And so I'm going to share the screen now just to refresh the board's memory and for the public as well, so that everybody can kind of see. Let's see, is that screen large enough? There we go. Okay, there we go. Now we're on to option 3. So option 3 was the option that we discussed in detail last week, that included for District 2, District 2's representation of the District 10 area north of Marysville, as well as West Linda, the District 1 area representing the Linda area to the east of Highway 6570, District 3 representing primarily the Olivehurst area, as well as a portion of West Linda, District 4 representing primarily the Plumas Lake and Wheatland areas, and then the kind of ag area, the areas that are in between those two, and then District 5 representing the rest of the areas. And those 5 districts then would have equal populations of approximately 16,000 or so people. And so the item before you today, we had an item previously today where the board rescinded chapter 2.05 of the Yuba County Ordinance Code. We kind of rescinded the old supervisorial districts. So actually, I didn't check with council, but I don't know if we have limbo, where they rescinded their districts, and so until there's this action's taken, we have no districts. But that sounds like a legal question we probably don't need to answer. But meeting adjourned. Yes, I know, and we can all. but this action then would put into place this option 3. I would formalize it as the preferred option of the board and be adopted by ordinance, and it would be adopted graphically, which is different than we've adopted these districts by meets and bounds description, which is problematic because frankly most of the public does not can't read a meets and bounds description and visualize it. And so we felt like this was a better way to go in the future, to have it adopted graphically. And so you'll see in the resolution, it's a 6-page attachment that has kind of the overall view of the county, and then kind of a blow up of each of the 5 districts to make it as easy as possible for the public to understand these new boundaries. And all of this information, if adopted by the board today, will be pushed out on our county's website, and our public information officers will get the information out to the public so that the public knows whose district they're in moving forward. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions the board has.
Any questions from the board before we move on to public comment? Okay, seeing no questions, we'll take public comment at this time. Is there any public comment from the room? Okay, I see none. Is there any public comment from Zoom, Mary? Okay, no public comment on Zoom. So with that, I will close the public hearing and I will entertain a motion to approve option 3 as the supervisorial district map for the next decade.
Well, as the one getting carved up most, I'll make that motion.
And as the one that's
Second.
accepting most of the property into the 5th district, I will make a comment that, we looked at multiple options, and I had some feedback from the public, which could have an impact on different election districts when they use the supervisorial for their election purposes. And unfortunately, it's a balloon. Whatever you push one direction affects another. And so this still made the most sense, even though the 5th district grew immensely. It's still the proper way to go, and I'll make a second on that motion.
I think we may have already had a second. Yeah,
I saw it, Don, but I didn't hear it. I apologize.
I don't know. It's okay. You can still share your opinion.
There you go.
Yeah, you can third. Okay, so we have a first and a second, so we'll do roll call vote, please.
Supervisor Vasquez,
Yes.
Supervisor Blazer,
Yes.
Supervisor Fuhr,
Yes.
Supervisor Bradford,
Yes.
Supervisor Fletcher.
Yes.
Motion passes. Thank you.
Okay, and with that, we will adjourn the meeting. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, staff, for your hard work on this.